Hello, class. Will Wallace here. I am going to present to you my prominent artifacts paper, and I hope that you enjoy it. It's an area that is of real interest to me, the particular artifact we found, because it was located in the Arava Valley, which is located south of the Dead Sea and runs all the way down to the Red Sea. And on the west is the Negev Desert, and on the east is what is now southern Jordan, and is but back in biblical times was what was known as Edom, and where the Edomites lived. And what makes this area interesting to me is the fact that it was the major site of copper production in the southern Levant. And the use of copper in crafting bronze and ironworks was essential to all of the regional players at the time. And so, though this particular area does not have an enormity of magnificent sites like we've seen in other studies that we've done throughout this course, it is without a doubt probably one of the most important places from an economic standpoint, as it was the primary, other than agriculture, was the primary driver of commerce throughout the Fertile Crescent during the time. And so let's get to the artifact that I've chosen to talk about, and it is a scarab that was located in 2006 near Timnah, which is actually it was located in an area that is known as near the Wadi Fadan, and it was Kirbet Hamra Ifdan, and it was just to the located just to the east of Timnah, which was one of the major communities of copper production. But what this scarab is a small item, and I'll show you a picture of it right here. You can see how small it was. It was only 12.7 millimeters long. It's about 7 millimeters wide and 5.5 millimeters tall. And this scarab is attributed to Sheshonq the first, the Egyptian pharaoh that we have heard referred to as Sheshonq, otherwise known as Sheshonq. And the reason why the researchers were there at the time is that in 2002, Thomas E. Levy and his team, who were funded by the Edom Lowlands Regional Architectural Project at the University of San Diego and the Department of Antiquities of Jordan, had been doing major excavations in the region. And in 2006, a team from the U.S. of graduate students showed up to participate in the digs. And while they were getting ready and sort of having a preliminary briefing at the site before they even started the digs, one of the graduate students was kind of kicking around, looking things over, and he happened to see something on the ground that didn't look like a rock, even though it was the size of a small rock, and he picked it up. And he took it to the professor and asked him, well, what is this? And the professor was blown over by the fact that they had a major find on their hands. And so, based on the hieroglyphs of the scarab, they determined that the hieroglyphs stated that bright is the manifestation of Re or Ray, chosen of Amun Ray. And the experts said that this corresponds with great certainty to the throne name of the founder of the 22nd Egyptian dynasty. And I'll show you kind of a picture where this was found. So you see the Dead Sea on the top part of the paper, and just south of it, in the little dot, the Google dot, map dot, is the location as to where they located it. And what's fascinating about this particular find, in seeing that it had Sheshonq's name on it, was the knowledge that Sheshonq had founded the dynasty in around 926 BC, which was shortly after the death of Solomon, I believe in 931 BC. And at the time, we find in the book of Kings, 1 Kings 11:40 and 14:25, as well as Chronicles 12:2-9, that this Pharaoh Sheshonq, who is mentioned in the Bible, goes on a major campaign and comes up through the southern Levant and then further up into Canaan, and gains control over the region. And so one of the things that the noted archaeologist Kenneth Kitchens had previously talked about in relation to Sheshonq's campaign was the fact that they had taken a detour, or at least a flying column of the campaign, had gone over to secure the copper region in near Timnah in the Arava Valley. And so so that was one more piece of evidence to add to a list to solidify the knowledge that Sheshonq had actually done these things. And Sheshonq had additionally written on the walls of his temple complex in Egypt that he had gone through and carried out this campaign. And they had also found a stele at Megiddo that referenced this campaign. And so it helps us get an understanding of the historicity of the biblical account with these hard pieces of evidence that that Sheshonq was in all likelihood, a strong inference and a strong conclusion can be drawn that he was there on this campaign. I was also able to locate, it was just by chance, I just got lucky on this, but I also located this scarab, which, even though the hieroglyphs are different than the ones we see in that were found in the Arava Valley, this particular one I just showed you was found in Egypt in the late 1800s. And it also is a reference to Sheshonq and his kingdom. And what really ties these together is, and this particular one is located in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, and it had been a gift of a private collector from years back. But what makes it interesting is that on the details, the top of it, and the Met wouldn't allow all of the pictures, so unfortunately you don't get to see all of them. but the top of it has the same beetle pattern that that the one that was discovered in the Arava Valley. But what really was interesting in my mind was the fact that they found a green glaze on both of these particular scarabs. And so it kind of made me wonder, or question, was this green color, was that a color that was of importance to Sheshonq, or is that something that was common amongst all scarabs that happened? But nevertheless, these pieces of evidence are extra biblical proof of an event that had taken place during the period of the Bible. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.